Today, the Civic behind me is getting some love, and we're installing something we've actually already installed and made a whole video about already. It was actually one of the last videos I made before I left for like 3 months. We installed these. These are some eBay headers and a DNA exhaust, and they didn't work out properly at all. Turns out I was doing a lot of that thing that I was cutting and welding before measuring, and yeah, I made a couple mistakes. So we're back today doing it again with a lot nicer parts. What is going on, guys? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today, as I was just saying, we'll be installing a new DNA exhaust, but I picked up some nicer headers. I think this eBay exhaust was like 150 bucks, and it's warped and the sizing was really off. So today we're installing some PLM headers, which were $500, and hopefully we can make this exhaust like actually good. Goal is to not have to do any welding today, but thinking about it, I'm gonna have to make another extension because I don't have a cat on this car. And I did the last time I made an extension. I'm not sure if it's gonna work for this without cutting and re-welding it to make it work. So we're gonna find out. Step one though, we have to remove this entire old exhaust system because it's not working anyways. It's leaking. It's gotta go. What's the saying? Do things right the first time so there's no second time? I'm currently taking this mid pipe off with a hammer and a chisel because I made it tight on there. I thought it was a good idea at the time, and now I'm looking back and it's not. So it turns out the mid pipe I made won't fit my new PLM header, which is unfortunate. And it looks like the reason is because PLM includes this donut gasket, and they sell their own flanges to fit over the donut gasket perfectly. And I'm pretty sure they want you to buy it. So that's an additional $35 that I need to spend to make this work properly. So I can still put everything else in and see if this leaks at all, because the other one leaked. Hopefully it doesn't, and hopefully we can still get something done today. I gotta say, having this split design makes putting these headers in the car so freaking easy because you're not having to fish it through like all the engine. The next thing I'm going to install before I actually put these headers in is I do have a new stud set for the engine for these headers to make it a little bit nicer, put brand new threads in and everything. Now that our headers are on, we're just gonna do a quick leak test to see if we're leaking any exhaust gases. Before, with the old headers, I had a huge leak on the right-hand side, the driver's side. So we're just gonna start her up, see how the headers sound by themselves, and see if we have any leaks. Two things. One, those sound incredibly cool. Two, yeah, we still have a leak. It's right in the center, and I'm not sure why we're having that. All of my studs are in, everything is tightened down. I'm thinking maybe if I do a double gasket, it'll stop any potential leaking, but there's definitely still a leak in there. So we're gonna try to do two gaskets and see if that fixes it. So the headers are completely done. So this was a two-way slip design, and I found out that it doesn't want to line up perfectly. So if you put two zip ties through the holes, it helps guide them because the one tube was slightly off, so you could bend it, and it made it work. After putting that new gasket on, I put soapy water on there to see if I could find where that leak was, because it seems like it's still leaking, but I honestly can't tell if the exhaust is coming up through the front and it's hitting me in the eyes, because I can still feel my eyes burning and still smell a little bit of smoke. But at the same time, I don't know if it's leaking because I can't find a leak, because if I put my hand over, there's no air coming out anywhere that I can feel. So I don't know if it's leaking or not. So I'm just gonna wait for my gasket to come, or my flange to come in, so we can finish the rest of the exhaust. So for today, we're finished, and I'll see you guys when we're at the next part. All my parts came in, everything is here. So now we're gonna start assembling everything, putting the exhaust in the car. Now I think the problem I did last time was I tried cutting and measuring before putting everything in. So this time I'm actually going to put the entire catback portion in before we start messing anything with our mid pipe, so that way we can get hopefully a cleaner install and everything gets back together better than it did last time. So we are all mounted up at this point, and it's still sitting a little bit weird, so it might need some adjusting and finessing to make it work. And it turns out that my custom mid pipe that I did make is not the right length. So I have some extra exhaust pipe here, so I might cut one to see if I can make it work. I don't want to lose the flex pipe because I feel like the flex pipe is kind of an important piece, so I might still have to pick that up, but I might have enough tubing here to make it work. Turns out the auto parts store didn't have what we need, so we're gonna do some sketchy shit instead to make it work. So we're just gonna cut down what I had before, measure it out to 12 inches, and then hopefully everything fits together like a glove. Next thing we gotta do is just let all this metal cool before we can start assembling everything. I'm going to end up changing the muffler again. I'm not sure if I'm gonna cut this one off, weld it here, or buy another muffler, but I'm gonna end up doing that again soon. I just don't know when. Not today. I also need to get more hangers because of a lot of reasons. But we're gonna let this cool off, and then we'll assemble her, put her back on the ground, and hopefully all of our clearances are good, and we can start up and see how she sounds. Now, there's two things I'm super nervous about. One, clearance, to make sure we're gonna over bumps. That was a problem with the last setup I had. I had about an inch, and I couldn't even get into my garage because it was so tight. Second of all, you know, there's always a possibility for leaks, and I hope there's no leaks, but there always might be. So we're gonna check the clearance real quick, and then we're gonna check and see how she sounds. As you guys can see, the clearance is terrible. It's on the ground pretty much. So we are going to have to find a solution for that. I'm not sure why these exhausts keep hanging so low. I think part of it is that the mid pipe on here that has your resonator has one spot to hang up on. The other one's not there, and I think that's part of the reason. So we need to figure out a way to tuck it up higher, because right now I won't be able to drive like this. But we can start and see how she sounds. All in all, she actually sounds pretty good. Once I change the muffler, it's gonna sound better. It does have that beehive Honda Civic tone to it that I can't stand, but the headers sound great. I went to the front of the car. I'm not hearing sound of the front. I'm only hearing it out the back, which is like huge, because that means we shouldn't really have any leaks. So I'm going to end this video. Next video, I'm probably gonna end up putting the new muffler on and seeing how we can raise up that exhaust, because right now it's not drivable and it sucks because I want to drive the car. But we are gonna leave you guys off here. So I hope you guys like this video. Hope you guys like the comeback. We have a lot of Civic things planned. We have a couple things for the fit planned. So you guys need to stay tuned. So please make a few things. Comment, like, subscribe, keep doing the fun stuff, keep doing you, stay motivated. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and peace.